Muy bien. Nos agarraron fuera de cámara. Aquí estoy el día miércoles hablando de real estate. Unos invitados fabulosos. We have today Brandon from Northeast Bank.
Yay.
Welcome, Brandon.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Jaime Delgado, National Realty.
Hola, aquí presentes.
Amber Rose Bierke, Real Estate, Commercial Real Estate Agent.
Hola, hello.
Y hoy gonna speak Spanish and you're English, right? Estamos aquí para que vamos a explicarles cómo pueden comprar una propiedad comercial. Tenemos a Brandon, que es el vicepresidente de este banco, Norris Bank, y va a estar hablando de lo que necesitas para comprar una propiedad comercial. Okay, let's talk.
All right. Well, Brandon, first of all, thank you for being here with us. We had a lot of questions that our community has for you. I think the basic startup it'll be what we had a lot of clients who had the restaurant and they want to buy a building. So how they can buy a building, a commercial building, they own like their restaurant, they're working in the restaurant already.
Sure. Yeah. So first off, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be here. And as far as doing a restaurant loan, typically all I do are commercial loans. So all I do are real estate, people looking to buy equipment. And as far as getting started, I think the first step would be to set up an appointment with a banker such as myself or another commercial lender.
Okay. Amber Rose, questions?
Well, I work in commercial real estate and I know Brandon and I know Northeast Bank because they actually funded some deals in 2023 that I was actually the listing agent on. Yvonne, you've worked with Northeast Bank.
Yes, really easy to work with.
So what we are bringing here to you today is actually a bank and a lender that's actually lending money. They're very comprehensive, not to be intimidated, but they really help you set up your portfolio so that you can make the purchase of the commercial building for your business. And if you need a realtor to work with you through that process, you can call me or you can call Jaime or you can even call Yvonne Delgado. So we're all happy to work with you. But most importantly is building a relationship with a bank and or bankers, because people that are in business, they have relationships with banks. We all work hard, we keep our money, and we should be very savvy with the cash that we have on hand. I'd like Jaime to talk a little bit about that. I mean, we've got customers, we've got clients that have quite a bit of money and they work so hard and then they want to go and take risk and start a new business. And I would say before you get out there and start finding properties, you go and you meet with that banker. Yes. So can you tell me a little bit about your process when you're working with your customers and working with the banks, what you're seeing? Like, how are people leveraging their assets? Or are people using their cash? I mean, are they literally risking all that cash on this new startup business? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, that's an excellent question. I do have some experience in the commercial side, and we were just talking about it with Brandon. One of my clients called me, and they want to start up a new business. They want to start a bakery. And then I do have experience myself, because I own a restaurant in the past. So I do have the experience. What is the process? How's the application? What to have, your business plan, your motto, everything, The banks want to know everything. They want to make sure that you have a plan, right up. If you're going to start a restaurant, your menu, if you're going to do a bakery, same as well, menu, recipes, everything, financial, credit, all that. So you have to be prepared. I have the experience myself. Like I said, I own a business in the past, so I can tell my clients exactly what to do, where to start, and how to do it. But here we got the expert. Brandon, and he's gonna tell us more about it. I think it's a very good information that we're gonna receive today from Brandon. So, Brandon, what will be the first step, to
requirements?
The requirements.
Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. So typically the first steps would be to set up a meeting, sit down with a banker, And once you have a meeting set up, they're going to want to have your personal financial information. So typically that's going to be your last 3 years of your tax returns, as well as having you complete a personal financial statement. And those documents basically tell the banker, if you're able to afford a loan or not, and how much of a loan are you able to afford. If you have a business, oftentimes you can pull out reports right out of your QuickBooks reports or any other accounting software that you use that can generate profit and loss statements. And we can kind of take that information, send it to my underwriting team or an analyst team that's here, in-house in Minneapolis, local. We make nice thing about working with Northeast Bank. We're a community bank, so we are local here and we reinvest back into the community. So when you work with a small local community bank, such as Northeast Bank, the money gets reinvested back into the local community. But typically those three things are what we would need to at least start the underwriting process to see if you're qualified for a loan. So again, that'd be your last 3 years of tax returns, a personal financial statement, and then, if you're looking to buy a piece of real estate, a purchase agreement or anything like that.
And it was really easy. I did it myself with Brandon. It took me how long? 3 weeks?
Yeah, about so.
To refinance my building. And it was really easy. The communication was it was fast. It's just send an email and Brandon answered right away, and you get pre-approved like fast.
Yeah, it was the deal that we did for you, I found, was very fast. It was quick. Quick turnaround time, and we got you approved relatively quick.
I refinanced my building. You can do it too.
Brandon, I have a question. I'm a business owner. I have been for about 10 years. I didn't expect to be a business owner. I worked for small businesses and then I worked for a corporate company, kind of fell into entrepreneurship. So sometimes when you're a newer entrepreneur or you're very experienced doing what you do, however, you personally are not doing your accounting, maybe not everything is put together the exact way that a bank would like to see it. What kind of programs or what type of organizations are you guys connected to that can help small business owners, get their personal financial worksheet together? And or what if somebody hasn't filed their taxes? Like who, how, what can you get? How can you help people get into position so that they can buy a building?
Yeah. So, that's a great question. A lot of people, they don't plan on being an entrepreneur. Like you said, they just kind of stumble into it and, they try the corporate job and that's not really for them. And it just doesn't work out. But to answer your question, we work with a lot of community partners here at Northeast Bank. There's a handful such as SCORE, Women Ventures, META, Next Stage, the Latino Development Center. There's so many different partners that we work with that offer those types of resources, Amber, where if they have questions on how to start a business plan, how to do projections, how to any kind of basic business questions, they can go to these partners, and oftentimes it's at no charge, so it's not going to cost anything for the business owner. Oftentimes these are free resources, community funded, government funded programs where they are out there, and SCORE specifically, they're retired business executives and they aren't really doing anything else, and this is how they stay active in the local community. So I think, reaching out to any of the following organizations would be a great starting place.
Yeah. Where are you located, Brandon?
Yeah, so I'm located at Northeast Bank in Northeast Minneapolis. We also have 2 other locations in New Brighton and Coon Rapids.
Oh, good.
So we have 3 locations. However, we service all of the Twin Cities metro area.
Wow.
And my tips and my advice to any entrepreneur out there that might be leasing and looking to purchase is to call your banker. You are building your team, you are building your resources, and there is no reason whatsoever to be intimidated. Not at all, because no question is a dumb question, and everything is a learning opportunity. And if you work with a really fantastic realtor, they're going to be patient with you. They're going to leverage their resources to best help you. And I got to say, when I had a client working with Northeast Bank in 2023, there was a small gap in their financing because sometimes the banks are looking for 20 to 25% down, and or they want you to have a little cash in reserve. So there are programs out there that can be micro loans or grants or things like that that can also help you get over the hump. And you don't know unless you call us, call someone like us, to provide those resources. We are happy to share our resources for free. This is what we do for work, and we're very involved in the community. We're all entrepreneurs, so we want other entrepreneurs out there to get the resources that we have access to so that they can be successful.
Yes, and you're going to speak Spanish, but you have somebody there that speaks Spanish, right?
Yes, yeah. So we in-house, Ruben Garcia is a banker, and he speaks Spanish as well. He's based in our Minneapolis office as well, and oftentimes even some of our frontliner tellers, they also speak Spanish as well.
Oh, nice.
And can help translate sometimes any of those translation issues.
Indeed, Brandon, let's say that, I'm going to put myself as an example. If I want to buy a building, do I need to have a good credit score? Do I need to have a good financial, good income? What do I need? Let's say that I had a wife, and my wife, I'm a realtor, and my wife, I don't know, she's probably a doctor, and we had a different income, different field income, but I do want to buy a building. Is my credit score important to buy get a loan for you?
Yeah, so I mean, all of those things would help. If you have good credit, good financials, good income, all that stuff definitely helps the process. However, I understand that not everyone has perfect credit, perfect financials scenarios. So, people that don't maybe have a less than perfect scenario, we offer solutions and underwriting solutions that might be able to fix some of those areas of concern. For example, maybe you have a new startup business. However, if you're going to keep your full-time job, or you have a spouse that maybe has some outside income, we can take into consideration, their outside income, and that might help subsidize, offset some of the requirements for the loan. So if you have if your spouse is a doctor and they have, a doctor's salary, oftentimes that doctor's salary can help get a loan for a business loan for you as an individual. We obviously want her as a guarantee and be active in the business, but oftentimes we can look at you as a global economic unit rather than just a specific individual.
And then one other important question, what kind of down payment, how that works, what kind of down payment we need, to invest in our own building?
Sure. So yeah, as far as down payments goes, it really depends on what loan product that you're looking for. If you're looking for a 1 to 4 family property, typically down payments on the commercial side here would be about 20%. So if you're looking at anything above, so that'd be 5+ units, would be about 25% down is what we would require. And we would require that on industrial, commercial, warehouse properties as well. Typically that'd be 25. In some cases, we may require a 30% down, but generally speaking, 25% down is kind of our standard in the commercial world.
What are the rates today, Brandon?
Yeah, so rates are really going to depend. We do our underwriting on borrower specific. So it's going to depend on each individual borrower and what they can qualify for. However, generally speaking, on either an equipment piece or a real estate project, generally speaking, around they'd probably be in the 7s or so, assuming you have good credit and qualify for everything.
I mean, ballpark is going to be like 7 to 10, 7 to 11%. And again, I have done business with Northeast Bank, and I got to say that they were competitive with their rates.
Yeah, and that's one thing too. We're not always going to be the highest, but we're also not always going to be the lowest. Typically, we're going to end up somewhere in the middle. We're going to be fair to the market place, with all the other community banks and other larger financial institutions in the market. We're always competitive, but I think really our selling point is our quick turnaround. Like I said earlier, we're local here in the Minneapolis area, where we can make quick local decisions. We don't have to wait for New York or Chicago or California to get approval. We're making our approvals here in-house. And one nice thing as well that I don't think I've mentioned yet is that, our lending limit, we can go up to $14 million for a loan size. That can encompass most real estate or business loans. So we're a small community bank. However, we have enough capacity to take on some of the larger projects and larger deals here in the Twin Cities Metro.
And I do want to provide some additional advice, not to be talking too much. Hopefully everybody likes my North Dakota accent. But my tip to people is make that phone call. Do not be intimidated and make multiple phone calls, because each bank and each banker is going to approach projects differently. They might recommend one type of financing. A bank might recommend another type of financing. And again, there's no dumb question, but the more you learn, the more you reinforce this in your brain, the better off you can make good decisions for your business, for your family. And it is our job in real estate, again, to kind of get you some resources that we have access to, but also to be patient with you so that you can set up those appointments with bankers, so that you can ask those questions and that you can feel empowered to make your decisions, because nobody should be making, choices about your life and your business but you. So we can help, we can provide some advice. We've got access, but it is very, very important that if you are newer to this process, and or if you are experienced, that you're making those phone calls and you're getting that information. Brandon knows firsthand, because they've worked on different deals with our brokerage, what my personality is. And my personality is to kind of walk alongside my clients. They need to learn. Everything's a learning opportunity. Even very experienced entrepreneurs and investors reach lending limits, and they need to learn about the latest, greatest, newest programs that are out there. So our jobs as realtors are to walk alongside you and provide you these resources. So at no point be intimidated. And then the other tip I have is that commercial real estate, whether you're leasing, whether you're buying, it takes time. You might build a relationship now that helps you in 2 years from now, or 3 years, or 4 years, or 5. And if you want to move fast, then you are going to have to take some direction. You're going to have to get organized, and then we can expedite things. The process can move quickly, but that is in the buyer's hands. You got to be organized. You got to get the business plan done, like Jaime said. That is to prepare you so that when we go to put an offer in, that we can negotiate the best terms possible for you. Without that information, you are leaving gaps, and I think then you're wasting time and wasting money. That sounds super negative. I hope that it's not taken that way. But I just gotta give yourself time and be empowered in the process. There should be no intimidation as far as borrowing money for businesses and working with bankers and working with realtors.
Yes. And Brandon, I think here that we have you here in the house, it's a good opportunity for our people up there who wants to buy a fiveplex. They're looking for a fourplex, but once in a while they see a fiveplex or sixplex. So I think this is the opportunity for you guys to reach out to Brandon and start asking some questions. So how you can buy that type of building. And another question, yes, we were just talking about it. There's some clients up there who owns 1, 2, or 3 properties. And they're renting those properties to someone up there, and then they can refinance with Brandon as well. Is that right?
Yeah. So we can also look at doing refinances. So if you own a property currently, or if you have a contract for deed on the property, and you want to get out of that contract for deed, or if that contract for deed for a balloon is coming up for renewal, we can take a look at it and see if there's an opportunity for us to refinance that contract for deed and pay off that balloon payment, and then you're working with a bank rather than your contract for deed or investor there.
Yeah.
Usually, how long is the commercial loans? Are they at 5 years fixed, 10 years fixed, 30 years fixed?
Yeah, so it really depends on what product, but generally speaking, on a standard commercial product, without utilizing SBA or any of the other programs, if it's just strictly a commercial real estate product, generally speaking, 5-year term is kind of our standard with a balloon afterwards. And then generally speaking, depending on the type and condition of the property, but we can go anywhere from 20 to 25-year amortization. So yeah, it'd be a 5-year balloon, and then after those 5 years are up, it would renew for another 5 years until that amortization.
And we have to pay the refinance, right?
Yeah, and then there'd be refinance fees and appraisals, title work, all that kind of.
Again, an
fees.
appraisal.
It depends on if there's new money, but generally speaking, we can get by doing in-house evaluation, so that'll save some of the costs there as well.
And here's a disclosure. If you are looking to lease or you are looking to buy a property, there are going to be expenses involved. You may need to do an inspection. The bank is going to have you pay for an appraisal. So if you are the type of individual as a business owner that doesn't like to spend money, I don't know how you're going to buy a building. No. So just get ready. There are some costs. There's some fees associated with that. Any banker or realtor can discuss that at the initial meeting. But I got to tell you what, us as real estate professionals, we are extremely busy. There's a lot of different customers. There's a lot of different clients. Our favorite clients are, of course, the ones that are most organized. But if you're not the most organized, we still can work with you through that process and help you to get prepared. But if you're not going to spend any money, like, we're literally not going to be able to help you, because guess what? That's your business. It's not my business. It's going to be your business. It's going to be your purchase. It's going to be your equity. It's going to be your asset. So I do think it's very, very important just to be straight up with people that when you get into the process of leasing and or buying commercial real estate, there are going to be some costs associated with it.
Yeah.
And it all has to be disclosed.
Yeah, Brandon, question.
Yeah.
Do you finance buildings all over Minnesota, or you go Wisconsin, Chicago, or just in Minnesota?
Yeah, so to answer your question, Yvonne, generally speaking, it's just going to be in the Twin Cities Metro. We will go outside of the Twin Cities Metro if we have a relationship with a current customer or a prospect that's looking. I know we have stuff in like St. Cloud, stuff that dabbles over to Wisconsin. So, but generally speaking, the Twin Cities Metro is kind of our sweet spot, our bread and butter spot. But I did want to touch on kind of what Amber was saying as far as fees. Generally speaking, we're going to have origination fees, loan fees, mortgage registry tax, title fees, appraisals, internal evaluations, even environmental fees. There's all sorts of different potential fees and stuff out there, and a lot of them, aren't necessarily from the bank. The bank may order them, but they're on third-party, appraisers, title work companies, where these fees are really going. So it may seem like there's a lot of fees sometimes, but one thing that I want to say is that generally speaking, your banker's only good if they can help you make money, right? So sometimes you have to spend a little bit of money to make some money. And, if you spend a little bit of money, to buy a piece of real estate, hopefully that you're making a lot more money on it than, the bank is making on their fees.
And what about if you want to buy a commercial land? Could you do that?
Yeah, so on commercial land, we could do that as well. Generally speaking, on land, because there's no real collateral, it's just vacant ground, we would require a little additional down payment on something like that. But generally speaking, about half down to, 50. Yeah, 50 to 35 to 50 is kind of a sweet spot, I would say, for vacant land. If you're going to buy a piece of vacant land, and then if you have plans to build on it, we can also look at doing the construction loan on that as well.
And then, Brandon, for what I understand, you can get the bank. They can see you have to qualify depending on the use of the building. Let's say that I'm gonna buy the building, and I'm gonna just gonna be, the investor. I'm gonna buy it and lease it, and then it'll be the difference between doing that, or let's say that I want to buy a building and I want to have the restaurant, in the first level, and rent the rest of the space. That's how the bank see their income?
Yeah. So on that, we kind of we're talking offline as far as SBA and different loan products, but generally speaking, an owner-occupied business in a piece of real estate, we would take that business's operate, their rent, whatever they had on their for rent last year, and then we would apply that to towards their mortgage payment. Whereas an investor, because they're not in there in the property, they're going to have other tenants in there that would be paying the real estate and paying the rent. They would be paying to the business owner. So we could look at the property as a whole and see if that property can sustain itself as a business loan as well, or owner occupied. There are some additional benefits there as well. So on the owner-occupied side, if we went the SBA route, we can get a longer term, longer amortizations, stuff like that.
Wow. And you have a building, right, that you are selling right now. Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, thank you for that opportunity. So everyone out there, hello, it's Amber Rose, the Realtor. Our brokerage is based out of St. Paul. And so although we're in Chanhassen today, we do business all the way east. So feel free to give us a call. I have a listing right now. It just hit the market. It's 2,600 square feet. It's right in the Midway. So one block off of University Avenue West in St. Paul, kind of over by the Menards over in St. Paul there along University. And it's a warehouse. It's essentially a 2-level garage, and it can be a mixed use property. So you could do residential upstairs, business on the bottom. The whole thing could be office. This is a unique opportunity maybe for a general contractor or a plumber or someone that's an investor that wants to have a couple apartments upstairs and maybe even rent out the bottom. So this is 2,600 square feet. It is brand new construction. You don't see a lot of new construction in that area. It is business friendly. So although it's kind of a neighborhood, actually, if you look at the building, it looks rather residential. It's really cute. It's really nice. It was custom designed, a great general contractor and architect on there. So if you are looking for about 2,600 square feet, it's about 13 up, 1,300 down, brand new foundation, brand new everything, give me a call. My direct phone number is 612-207-8541. Again, it's 612-207-8541. And if you're out and about driving around today, you can even drive by it. It's 15 Oakley Avenue in St. Paul. If you want to see it, give one of us a call. Jaime, you work with buyers. He certainly can show the property. You're going to see me there because I'm the listing agent.
And the price?
And the price is good. It is $429,900. So $429,900. And so that's super affordable. If you need financing, Northeast Bank is aware of the property. So that's how we do things around here. Once we get a new listing, we share it with other people. So the word gets out there. It's super competitive. There's already a lot of interest. But if you are looking for a building like this, call Yvonne too. Get her out of the office. Why not? She wants to go to St. Paul today too.
No.
So just give us a call.
What about the mobile home?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for one of my clients who he sells those spices. I'm gonna say a commercial. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Like La Costeña and Orale, the spices. Where the peppers, dry peppers, and all that. He was looking for a store to place all the product, and then something and they're really good location right there, because what you got up there, transportation. You are between St. Paul and Minneapolis. Yes. You are very well located.
Just bring it over.
And then you had a lot of square footage. The price is great. So yeah, give her a call. Call me 612-730-1619. it's a great location for that building.
And
Okay.
zoning wise, Jaime,
Mhm.
I think that would work for that particular customer of
Mhm.
yours because it can be light industrial, manufacture, and retail. So the zoning of this building is super flexible. It's called T3 zoning. By the way, a zoning tip. So if you're going to lease a property or you're going to buy a commercial property, you're going to want to make sure that you call the city and or your realtor calls the city and make sure that the type of use that you're looking to do in that building would be permitted.
That's very
Yes,
important.
definitely.
Because you
That's
do
your
not
homework.
want to buy a building and then a city
Fine.
says you are not allowed to do
Fine,
that
yeah.
type of business in that building. And that happens all day long. And that's fine if it happens to someone that's a very experienced investor, developer. That happens. They take risk. They buy a property. They try to change the zoning. It may or may not work. But if this is your small business, you want to make sure you're calling the city, double checking with that address that the type of use is permitted.
Yes,
Okay.
very good
Talk about the
information.
mobile home.
I will 1 second. You talk about it because I got a cough.
Okay. I just saw the price. Okay.
No,
No,
well,
the-
yeah, we were just talking about it.
Your phone number, Brandon. Your phone number.
Like I said, we sell real estate, but sometimes we do it an exception. And this time, our friend Rose, she's got a mobile home for sale in Chaska. In Chaska, the price, I don't remember. She's going to say the price right now.
3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
$94,900.
94,900, 95,000. And yeah, it's very affordable. It's got 3 bedroom, 2 bath.
Updated.
Updated. Is how new is the mobile home?
Great question. It's from 2015, and I bought it directly from the owner. And I had a contractor in there for multiple days. It's got brand new trim. The painting is new. I mean, this is clean. It's fresh. The lot rental is about $650 to $700 a month. And how do I know that, Jaime?
Because you pay the bills.
Because I pay for it right now. So until I sell that mobile home, which I'm a motivated seller, okay, but there's a lot of interest in that property again because we're really good at marketing, so the word gets out there. But I've got a 3 bedroom, 2 bath mobile home, Chaska, 2015 model, and again, it's fresh, it's clean. Come take a look at it. Look at any of our Facebooks. We're going to share it, and we can get you through there. So come check it out.
Brandon, do you finance mobile homes? Because many people call us about buying mobile homes, but I don't know who can finance those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and mobile homes are a really hard thing for banks typically to finance, unless it's the actual whole mobile home part, because mobile homes can be uplifted and moved, and sometimes viewed more as personal property rather than realty or real estate, and that's where I think a lot of the financing issues come into play. So that makes it a lot harder for us.
But what I love about that is it's a quick transfer of title. So it's literally, I mean, for those of us that have bought mobile homes, we already know this, but it's not fixed, adhered to the ground. So you're actually going to the DMV, just signing over the title. So that's kind of nice. There are lenders out there that do lend specifically for mobile homes. However, Northeast Bank doesn't sound like they're going to be welcoming a ton of calls for a mobile home on wheels. But
if you own the whole entire real estate park that has all the homes on it, I think that'd be something we would be a lot more interested in lending on rather than individual mobile homes.
How we can connect with you, Brandon? What is your phone number, email?
Sure, yeah. So my phone number is going to be 612-875-4981. That's my cell phone. I'll say it again, 612-875-4981. And my email is going to be B as in boy, P as in Paul, LOM as in Mary, B as in boy, O, N is in Nancy, so it's bplumbon@nebankmn.com.
Ok, vamos a hablar en español ahorita para la gente que nos está viendo a través de TikTok. Say hi, everybody.
Hola.
Hola.
Hoy trajimos a Brandon, que es del
Hola.
Banco Norris Bank, y como ustedes saben, él se especializa en lo que es de propiedades comerciales. Si usted está interesado en un edificio de 5 unidades, de 8 unidades, un restaurante, una panadería, un taller mecánico, una gasolinera, aquí con Brandon lo pueden ayudar, ¿verdad? Entonces, el down payment depende de lo que vaya a comprar, ¿no? Un edificio, un terreno, pero normalmente estamos hablando de un 20-25% down, y es muy fácil porque yo ya lo hice con ellos. Amber Rose también tiene sus clientes con Norris Bank, les contestan inmediatamente, te lo resuelven en cuestión de días y puedes empezar a buscar tu propiedad comercial. Mucha gente, tenemos clientes que quieren poner su primer restaurante, todo eso. Tenemos compañías que les pueden ayudar a hacer su plan de negocios, ¿no, Jaime?
Sí, efectivamente, Brandon nos estaba diciendo de que hay comunidades
asociaciones sin fines de lucro,
de business owners que ya son retirados, que ya tienen la experiencia, que dan ayuda, no sé si es gratis.
Es gratis.
La ayuda es gratis para que les ayuden a hacer cómo hacer su plan de trabajo, cómo comenzar, qué es lo que tienen que presentar con el banco y todo eso. Entonces, ellos tienen bastante ayuda con Brandon. Él es un banco local. Hay 3 locaciones aquí en Minneapolis. Se llama Norris porque está localizado más en el Norris de Minneapolis. Y pues nada, es un banco pequeño que no tienen que lidiar con un banco grandote como el de la WF. Y entonces, llámela a Brandon.
Sí, entonces también, si usted quiere comprar una propiedad comercial, tenemos un ahorita en Winthrop. Tiene 3 locales comerciales, está muy bien el precio, $99,000, señores. Usted puede por $99,000 comprar 3 locales comerciales. Es muy fácil el financiamiento. We have a property in Winthrop. $99,000 is a commercial building, 3 units. The financing will be like 25% down.
Yeah.
Sí, por ¿cuánto será? $25,000. Con $25,000 usted puede comprar ese edificio de 3 locales. En uno puede poner un restaurante, una iglesia, oficina, lo que usted quiera, señores. Cerca de Green Isle, está cerca de todo, Fairfax, o sea, de aquí de Chanhassen está como 1 hora, pero es un buen negocio que para empezar usted puede comprar, ya que los locales comerciales en la ciudad salen súper caros, pero ahí está barato todavía.
Sí, puede poner un local de quiropráctico, un local de taxes, no sé, alguien corta el cabello, llena rapidito ese
building. Hay mucha
building.
comunidad latina.
Sí.
¿Algo más?
Llámenos al 612-130-1619 o con mi prima.
612-578-9762. Your phone number, Brandon.
612-875-4981.
Bueno, y la experta, la verdad, aquí en lo que es propiedades comerciales, me ha tocado ver cuando hay gente que quiere comprar taquerías o todo eso. Amber Rose es la mejor. You are the best in commercial.
Oh, you guys are so nice. And I gotta say, Jaime showed one of my listings.
Which one?
1910-1912 University Avenue as a mixed-use property.
You sold that one?
Yep, sold it at the end of last year. And his customers looked pretty happy. So if you guys are looking for someone to represent you on a commercial purchase, give him a call. Again, we're all kind of a team.
Yes,
we come in and out of the office. We share tips. We share resources. And Yvonne Delgado's got to be one of the nicest people in all of the Twin Cities. So much so that her friends trust her enough to give your audience our direct cell phone numbers.
Yes, that's fine.
I mean, you guys have our cell phone number, 612-207-8541. We are serious about doing business in 2024. We are busy, but we're never too busy to work with your guys' audience. So thanks for having me on the show again. And again, my name is Amber Rose. I own a marketing company and I work in commercial real estate. I've been in real estate since 2009. How long have you guys been in real estate? How long have you been in banking?
I've been in real estate for 8 years. I'm going for my 9th year.
9?
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been at local community banks for the last 8 years.
Wow.
So
I am the old one. 2000. From 2000 to
2000.
20. It was going to be 24 years. Oh my
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Yeah. No, but I do want to say thank you to my prima Ivonne. I'm going to say that in Spanish. Quiero dar las gracias a Ivonne porque ella siempre está aquí preocupada, trayéndoles nueva información, herramientas, nuevos prestamistas comerciales, residenciales, lo que necesiten. Siempre ella es muy dedicada, siempre está al tanto, siempre le está trayendo información directamente hasta su celular. No tienen que salir de su casa, hasta su celular directamente. Entonces, muy agradecida, prima, la verdad.
Gracias. También aquella gente que está rentando un local comercial, ¿por qué rentar cuando pueden comprar? aprovechen que está Brandon, de verdad es muy fácil trabajar con él para que les pueda ayudar a ser los dueños de su propio edificio. Tenemos señores que nos han llamado, que están rentando un restaurante, pero ya han crecido mucho y ahora si quieren comprar el suyo, es la hora de llamar, señores, los intereses han bajado, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Rates went down, right?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, they
That's
are.
what they're
Yeah,
saying.
los intereses han
Well,
bajado.
let's not bring
Yeah,
politics into this now.
No, rates are
Hey,
down.
one quick thing too before we end the show is if you own a commercial building and you are looking to sell, or you own a business and you would like to sell that business along with your real estate, call us. I'm exceptional at property marketing. We get the word out there. We make sure that it looks fantastic. A lot of times we're seeing multiple offers on our sale listings, as well as if we're looking to lease a property on behalf of our landlord clients. So if you have a building and it is vacant and you need a tenant, you can call us. If you would like to get rid of a building, you can call us. Again, can I share my phone number again?
Just do it.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to have so many new friends and customers and clients. Amber Rose Bierke. You can find me on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, not on TikTok. Oh my God. I would do terrible TikToks. People would pee their pants laughing. Okay, my phone number is 612-207-8541. Brandon.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me here, guys. I really appreciate it and have enjoyed myself. My phone number, again, is 612-875-4981.
Claro que sí, Jaime Delgado aquí de National Realty Guild, 612-730-1619, a sus órdenes.
Y hablan español en el banco de Brandon. Si alguien no entiende inglés y quiere hacer un refinanciamiento, compra comercial, él tiene gente en su oficina que habla español y les puede ayudar a traducir. O si no, nosotros, ¿verdad, Jaime?
Sí, claro, nosotros somos, hacemos de todo, ¿no?
Sí, de todo.
Lo representamos, explicamos documentos en inglés y en español y traducimos, ¿no?
Bueno, nos despedimos. We have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
There is another program coming up.
We're sad to go, but we have to. We got to go to work.
Have to work.
That's the word.
Who's going to pay our bills if we don't work?
I don't know, but people is calling right now.
We'll be calling.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Gracias a todos. Brandon, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Adios.
Thank you.
Adios.
Adios. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.